Ladies and gentlemen, adjust your headphones.
Come on in and shut the front door. You welcome to the You Should Know Better podcast, the news from the antagonist shoes, and we are back. We are back, season 6, episode 5, with another guest episode. We've got another guest episode, another story.
Yes, we
Someone
do.
should have known better. Someone should know better. Alison, thank you. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. It was, I'm excited about, I feel like this is a chance for me to feel like some catharsis around me acting silly when I was younger. So, you know, it's,
Let it all out.
I'm trepidatious, excited at the same time. I'm a little slush puppy that's mixed. Full of
we like
emotion.
that. We consider this the confession box of podcasting. So, you know, how you feel. We won't tell anybody.
You're a pastor now, yeah? Is that what you're doing?
I'm a Catholic priest. Not those ones, you know. Those ones, the modern day ones.
The modern.
Only services to the Lord. That's it.
Well, you're one of those priests that get in the calendar. Do you see those like
Oh yeah.
Have you seen they sell like hot priests calendars. And
Is it? Like the firefighter ones they usually do.
Yeah, but it's no, you know the way with firefighters and have a bit of fun with it. Maybe they'd like it's just pictures of mildly attractive men. I'm not
holding the cross.
Yeah.
I thought the Vatican had money. What's all this?
Like, it can't be too spicy.
Yes.
Come on, it's a religious order.
Just holding the cross.
You don't want to tempt people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
putting too
nuns
much
buying out the shop. Okay, all right, cool.
Come on now. This is a place of worship. Come treat people like sex objects.
It makes it better. I feel it's like in inappropriate places, especially like priests.
Yeah.
Generally.
Well, I guess if anyone's out there looking for a new calendar, maybe not. It's halfway through the year, but 2023. Look out for the priest calendar.
Maybe this should be my You Should Know Better story, where I'm like, I tried to do a sexually explicit calendar with priests, and I was excommunicated. Should have known better.
They just tell those stories. No, that is great. That is great. But Alison, I'm going to give you the chance to, let everyone know what you do, where they can find you. And then after that, you can just kind of run to your story. How does that sound?
Bang. It sounds good. My name is Alison Spittle. I'm a stand-up comedian based in London. You can find me on, I know, it's a great voice, Instagram. Instagram at Alison Spittle and Twitter at Alison Spittle. TikTok, don't find me there. It's shameful. Like, it's literally like.
Can you be found, or have you got an account that you seldom use? What is it?
Genuinely, I got 2 accounts because I forgot the password for my first one. And it's like, and the first account is just me sharing like videos of trains, because I was like, I like that.
You want to be the train spotter guy, like the French guy, yeah? Is that?
I was in it before he was, but I wasn't as charismatic. You know what I mean? I didn't have the equipment. He had the little camera on his head.
Oh, he's serious. Yeah, GoPros and all that.
Yeah, like anytime I see a man walking down with a GoPro on him, I run away. You know what I mean? If someone's walking down the street,
you can't trust that guy.
You don't end up in their TikToks. Yeah, no.
You don't trust that human.
No, can I trust a man willing to film himself walking down the street? He's up to no good, But like, my story about how I should know better is like just generally from my teenage life. Like, I think that's the ultimate kind of like era of kind of like when you should know better. And I think I'll talk about like my brush with the occult. So when I was a teenager, I don't know about you guys, but I was really into I really loved the film The Craft. And like
what's The Craft about?
Oh, it's about these witches that like go to high school, and you know the way
hang on, Alison.
Yeah.
What country are you from?
I'm from Ireland.
And you're watching the occult.
I got you. Yeah, I'm just like, I think it's like
Rebel.
Catholicism wasn't doing it for me anymore, and I needed to like.
If
It's
my
a
Catholic school
gateway
teachers
drug.
could see you now, they'd be in tears. Mr. McCann would be in tears right now.
That's it. I think religion is a gateway drug to being a witch. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can believe in God, you can believe in witchcraft.
You might be right, because half the Nollywood films, it's one witch who uses the Bible to grab someone and tell them to toast. So you might be right.
I would not like to be turned into toast, but like when I was when I went to school, like in this like rural part of Ireland, so there was no different types of people that like different types of things. There was like people that played like sport, and then people that were like clever, and then the rest were like this weird mix. They just used to be goths, even though if you weren't a goth, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you didn't do sport and if you weren't clever, you were a goth. And I used to hang out.
Poor girls play with a Barbie doll. Come on, get in the golf crew. Come on. Stop messing around.
You just need some eyeliner and depression.
Yeah. We got you.
So like I used to hang around these my friends, right? They still are my friends. And there was this girl, she wore a lot of black eyeliner. So I kind of looked to her for guidance. Like I felt like she was the one that knew what she was doing. And like she used to talk about the occult. And my friend, his parents were going away for the weekend, right? And like this just goes to show you the type of teenagers we were. Like, you know, Skins was on at the time. We could have known what to do if parents were away. But my friend turned around to me and said, my parents are away for the weekend. Would you like to do a seance? Right. So that was their, you know, the way some kids would like drink some WKDs.
Just get drunk and keep it moving.
Party, yeah.
Yeah. We just wanted to talk to a ghost. So we went to my mate's house. His parents are gone. We were watching like scary films and stuff to get us in the mood. The girl with the big eyeliner, she made a Ouija board. Now you can buy Ouija boards, but like we live in a very rural part of Ireland. No access. We can't even go to a Dorothy Perkins, right?
Yeah.
Never mind get a Ouija board. And so she made a Ouija board with like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of the letters of the alphabet, all of the numbers. Hello, goodbye. And also, sorry, in case we needed to apologize to the ghost, right?
In case you needed to cut the line before.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've got another ghost coming in. Sorry, we'll see you later.
Yeah, we're very busy at the moment. You are number 4.
Yeah. Ghost, like, I'm sick of this. I'm waiting for ages. I'm waiting for 400 years. I'm on hold.
So I bet it's like the most Irish thing ever to like have an apology ready. But like, so my friend, his dad had retired recently from like a chicken factory. And well, not a chicken factory, an egg factory. The chickens are they're not like building chickens like IKEA.
I was imagining like an assembly line. Is the leg?
Yeah,
is the back?
Putting the wings back on it. They're pulling it from a bucket of chicken wings, and they're like sewing it back on. Some weird Frankenstein chicken.
Some Ford assembly. Like,
yeah, he's half breaded, like, you know.
Oh my goodness.
So like he had a little crystal chicken egg cup that he got for his retirement, so it's beautiful. And you have to, have you ever done a Ouija before, guys? Ouija board before?
I haven't. No. I've seen them though. Does that thing actually make your hand move, or is it?
Well, this is it. It's kind of like, so the crystal chicken egg cup is like the vessel, and everyone has to put their fingers on the vessel. And like, I was brought up a good Catholic girl, so I was shit scared of it. My mum told me, like, when I was a kid, like, my mum warned me about 2 things, right? She said to me, now, Alison, don't have sex with someone that you're not in love with, Alison, right? And the other thing she said is, don't do a Ouija board. And she goes, don't do a Ouija board, because I know someone that did a Ouija board before and they ended up in a mental home, right? That was her thing. For every bad thing that was going to happen, everyone ended up in a mental home.
Yeah.
And she also was like, I know someone who had sex with someone they weren't in love with, and guess where they ended up in? A mental home. And like,
Oh my God.
That's the destination for any troublemaker.
I won't lie, lads. I've done both, right? And I've been to a mental home, so she's correct. Like, mums are always right. Like, mums are always right.
You can't argue with that.
Don't tell me you had sex with someone you didn't love. And
Yeah.
while playing the Ouija board in a mental asylum.
Yeah, just me getting it on with Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah.
He's an adult now. You know? So I don't. That was my first crush, actually. Was Casper the Friendly? Yeah.
It's not even a human. What's going on?
Yeah. But do you remember the film with Christina Ricci? And she's like
About
sleeping
him?
in the bed. Well, like, do you know what? This sounds really creepy. But what I
No
loved
way.
about him was that when she was asleep, he like floated over and then he went, "Can I keep you?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's the most romantic thing I've ever heard."
Something you can't see, something you can barely see.
Yeah.
With a bald head. Yeah. I tell you what, yeah.
Do you know what I love in a man? Surveillance, Junior. That's what I want. It's like someone watching me.
I tell you what, when I see someone in a white sheet, I run away. And say, we want to keep you. No, listen, you kept us 400 years. I'm off.
Good luck. So,
Oh
So,
my goodness.
we gotta
I've not
think-
heard that.
it's a good film. You should see it. But like, so we put our fingers on a crystal chicken egg cup, right? And the egg cup moved towards that, and I would say like very violently, right, towards X. Now I didn't know what X meant, but I was like really, really scared. So, and apparently it's like bad luck as well to take your finger off the vessel while you're in a chat. Apparently it'll keep the ghost within the house. There's a load of rules when it comes to the Ouija board.
Mhm.
Another rule is that you have to put a circle of salt around you when you're doing the Ouija board. They say it's to keep out bad spirits, and slugs as well, because you don't want slugs at any
Pull
seance.
it up.
You know?
I only let the slugs in. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
What's going on? You ruined it.
So like we were like throwing the salt flakes around. We were, you know, the way like your parent might like this guy was a middle class boy in Ireland, so they got
Mhm.
two types of salt. You got like the table salt,
Yeah.
and they got the salt flakes. Yeah,
Yes.
you know those like
yeah,
molded-
yeah.
Yes.
So we were throwing the salt flakes around. We were like, the more expense, the better. Like for this ghost.
The quality, yeah. The
A Waitrose ghost or something like that.
Yeah. The Waitrose coming in going, why is this fucking cheap salt
Yeah.
around here?
Yeah, I'm off.
So it went to X. I said, like, I can't take my hand off, guys. Bring it to goodbye because I'm done, right? So they swung it over to goodbye. I took my hand off because that's cuts out the conversation. And I said, guys, I can't do this anymore. I'm too scared. I don't wanna do this anymore. And they said, look, it's fine. If you want to like go into the sitting room, watch some television, we'll do the seance and it'll, you know, we can talk to you after. And I was thinking about like, I didn't want to go into the sitting room. I don't know which way this ghost is coming through. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't want to be watching Ricky Lake and then for like a ghost to like saunter over the couch. I was too afraid. So I said, no, I'll stay and I'll get my notebook out and I'll take down like notes and stuff like that. I was going to be like a secretary for the seance.
Taking minutes.
Okay.
Taking minutes in a meeting.
Yeah.
So, so I took out my notebook and the lads had their hands on the crystal chicken egg cup and I went, hello, is there anyone there? And the crystal chicken egg cup swung very, very like violently towards yes, right? And they said, what's your
does that
name?
mean?
I think it means there's someone there. That's how I
Okay.
took it. And then like they said, what's your name? And I went to ADAGIM, right? And we're like, what kind of name is that? Adigum.
Six from 4000 BC.
Yeah.
So you must have been taking the notes in hieroglyphics. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? Snake leg.
We It's like because like it's in Ireland, we thought maybe it's like Gaelic,
Yeah,
like you know that
I
kind of
don't know
language.
that.
Yeah.
So we're like, "Is your name Adam?" And I went, "Yes," right? And we were like,
Right.
"Holy shit!" And then we said, because we were teenagers, like we didn't think about what we were going to ask the ghost if we met one. We just wanted to meet one.
Mm.
So then we said, "Do you like tea?" Because we didn't know what to ask. So
What's your favorite biscuit? Rich tea or
we
custard cream?
genuinely.
Oh my god! You actually?
Yeah, we were asking him, "Do you like biscuits?" We went through all the different foods to see.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god! Probably thinking, "Daddy, want to know who killed Caesar?" All this stuff. They're asking me what my favorite biscuit is. Goodbye.
We were like doing a survey or something for McVitie's. Just like,
and then you got polls.
yeah, big in the ghost market is bourbons. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
So we did that, and then because we're teenagers, we didn't know. On another rule that comes up in the Ouija board game is that you're not allowed to tell a ghost that's dead. You're not allowed to acknowledge that it's dead, right?
Okay.
You're supposed to talk to this ghost like it's like you're supposed to ignore the elephant in the room. It's like talking to OJ Simpson and going like, "How's the football?" and not referring to anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With this ghost, it's like, oh yeah. So like we did it, and then my friend was like, "I want to find out what it's like to be dead. This is why I've got into this." And I was like, no, don't. And then she goes, "Right, I'll ask him a question and we'll see how he does. We'll see how he answers. And it'll be like, I'll know what it's like to be dead, but we haven't told the ghost it's dead, right?" And we're like, "Okay."
Right.
So she goes, "Are you lonely where you are right now?" And the crystal chicken egg cup was very slowly and very, I would say sadly, towards yes, right? And us teenagers, we were looking at each other like, "Oh my God, like this is a very deep, bit too deep for us." Like we were like, "Oh my God, everyone gets lonely. Everyone's going to die at some stage." So my friend picked up the crystal chicken egg cup and just threw it out the window and left that ghost hanging there. So that ghost, that ghost opened up to us emotionally, and we let him. We basically ghosted the ghost.
You
Oh,
that's how-
no. Lonely ghost
my
as well. Extra lonely now.
Is that when you say, "Oh, you're right" to someone, and then you expect them to say yeah, and then they open up and like, "Oh my goodness, really?"
I wasn't expecting this.
What's all this, man?
Well, Harry Graham, if you're still there, still out there, I hope you've solved your lonely problems. We've got friends here as well. And if you ever want to do a poll, for the undead, there's a couple knocking around.
All I'm saying is, if you're lonely, don't go talking to a bunch of 14-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like, just
That's true.
Hey, you lot came to him. He was chilling. He was in the ground or the sky, wherever they are.
That's what they all say, Junior. They're all like, "No, the kids approached me. I didn't approach the kids."
Ghost caught.
Ghosted a ghost. I love that.
Brilliant.
So I should have known better to mix with stuff that I was too afraid of, I think.
Yeah.
No, they should listen to your mother.
I know.
Should have stayed away from the Omen, other scary films. Exorcist, should have stayed clear of all that,
Oh man, I don't know. It's just like with me and the occult and everything like that. It's just like I have this like kind of like weird fascination with it. You know what I mean? I should just let stuff be alone. I should get curious about stuff that would help my life, like meditation. You know what I mean? Mindfulness, exercise. But now I'm not curious about that. I'm like, ghosts.
Everyone's got their thing. Listen, keep it up.
Got their advice. Yeah, no doubt.
Keep it up. But Alison, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that story. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Hey,
Thank you.
no problem. Thanks so much for having me on the podcast. I hope you all have a lovely day. I'll see ya. Bye.
See ya.
Take care.
Bye. Oh wait, I'm doing Edinburgh. Come to that. The Fringe.
Wet white. No, it's not wet white. It's white. Wet.
Wet.
Of white.
It's just plain wet.
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 We don't know what is wet, but it's wet. Okay, thank you, Alison.
I'll definitely come and see you.
See ya. Have a nice day. Bye.
All right, let's move on swiftly to the main segment. I shouldn't say main segment. I shouldn't say. That's very rude. We're going to move on to the next segment of the pod. This is the You Should Know Better segment. This is where we look at a prominent news story in the news. We look at it from the antagonist shoes and ask ourselves, should they have known better? So there has been a NHS mental health trust that has set up a food bank for its staff. So the Norfolk and Suffolk NHS Foundation Trust, which I believe it's a mental health trust out in East Anglia, has set up food bank for its staff because it's concerned about the impact of the cost of living crisis. It's done so it's for people who may be struggling to afford a increase in household costs, including food and bills, and apparently other trusts in that area are doing the same. So that is damning. That is very, very damning that a very large employer, I think the NHS is one of the largest employers in Europe, is having to provide food bank for people that even go to work full time, because they're basically saying that what they're paying the staff is not enough to live off. So I've got a junior here who's going to play the role of Savage Javid. This is the health secretary. And junior, I want to know Savage. Is that Savid? Savid. I want to know Savid.
Mm.
This is not good on your watch, is it? Why are you letting your own people, your own staff, go to food bank? Are these the heroes? Is this how you treat your heroes?
Well, look, if you look at this study, right, and one of the let's zero in on one of these mental health trusts, okay? Yeah, Norfolk and Suffolk, okay?
Yeah.
So if you have any knowledge of what's going on in that area right now on a football basis, you understand what's happening there, Michael. Norwich have been relegated. They've been relegated. Okay. So people are going to be upset. People are going to be upset that Norwich have been relegated. Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens then?
What?
They turn to the drink. Okay. Turn to alcohol, and they don't spend the money on food. And then when now it's time to buy food.
Is this the first relegation Norwich has suffered?
This is the problem.
This is the 20th relegation this place has suffered. Just say relegation.
Because there's been so many. They're spending the money at the dog and duck. And the fox under the hill. Because the money's gone. The people are struggling. They're spending all the money on drink. So now they don't have enough to spend on food.
Dog and duck. I've not heard that one before.
They're down at dog and duck. So they spend their money on booze, drowning their sorrows.
Wow. So you're blaming your staff. You're basically calling them alcoholics. You're saying that
I'm blaming
people that are in the NHS.
I'm blaming Norwich Football Club. They should have performed better in the season.
So you're blaming man like Timo Pukki.
Tim Krul
banging in skulls.
Tim Krul all lands at his feet. He in fact, the Norwich football team should even generate fundraisers to help these people, okay? Because they've led that city into hardship. But it is true, I will admit this, it is true. It is one of the most poorest regions in the UK, right?
This sounds like a lot like Victor blaming. You've not once here have you acknowledged that
this is a fact.
The fifth largest economy in the world has its staff work for the largest employer in Europe. They need some help to buy food, to pay for their bills. Really?
Yeah, but I mean, what does the fifth largest economy mean anyway?
So
America's the largest. I mean, you've seen the people out there. Would you rather live there than here? Exactly. I think you know the answer. I don't
know. What I do know is that we are our own country and we are a sovereign nation, so we shouldn't really be looking at what people are doing in other countries. But what I do know is that you can assist with a pay rise. I do know that. I do know there are options for you to ensure that the wage paid to NHS staff does beat inflation and is not crippled by it. So why haven't you considered that?
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to help anybody. What we should be doing is building a link from Norwich to London, right? We should probably build another QE line or something. I think we just got that one out now.
Another
Norwich to
line.
London. So people to come into London, yeah, enjoy the city for a day, yeah. Maybe pick a new team.
This guy's just not serious. I'm terminating this interview. This guy, he said people that are broke should pay for trade. You don't know what you're talking about. You're no different from Sunak or the Boris Johnson that said, take the bus, enjoy the heating. Come on, man.
The first trip is free.
The first trip, get out of here, man.
You have to pay. The rest you have to pay, okay? But listen, I've heard on good authority. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff going into the food banks aren't actually struggling. Okay,
wow.
They're saying some of the cheapskate doctors are rolling up in there, trying to dress up as like cleaning stuff and all that stuff because they're trying to get a free meal and that. So I think they should be looking at these, some of these staff who are not behaving correctly.
Deflection. it's serious. It's serious deflection, but that's sad, man. I think that's a very sad indictment, and it's something that I think people have been struggling for a while, even on the NHS wages. But this just puts it into a huge spotlight, that the fact that this is not just people who, you know, aren't working. So sometimes you can say, oh, if you're not working, it's your own fault. That's usually, for whatever reason, people don't work for a myriad of reasons. But you can't even say these are people that are working full time. If we're in a situation where in a country you're working full time and your job doesn't pay enough for you to survive, then we're in a bad situation.
Yeah, but
you can stop being the savage Javid, man.
No, I'm not stopping anything. What is it? I'm joking.
This is conservative, bruv. You see, we don't have conservative views. That was very conservative.
Was that a member of the audience?
A member of the audience said we're not conservative. That was very conservative.
Yeah, I think it's just a microcosm of what's happening across the country, right? You're seeing it in places here, you're seeing in other parts of the country. People are working full time in, you know, a myriad of industries. Okay, yeah, not just NHS, who are actually not able to, you know, feed their family. They have to decide between this and that, and it's just, I think it's a shame because for this to happen, you've got the worst kind of people, and I'm not even talking political spectrum. I'm just talking people who don't really have a grip on the lives of everyone else. The worst kind of people in charge right now, because inflation's peak, yeah, but to them it's like an extra 20, 30 here, and it's not that. But for people at the end of the line, £10, £20 is a big difference. Right?
Oh yeah.
And so when those people don't really get that, when you don't really grasp that, you're gonna move slow. Your policies are gonna move slow, and people are gonna feel the impact. So it'd just be interesting to see what kind of happens, because they're getting a lot of pressure, but I don't really see nothing so far in their policies suggests they're doing much to alleviate it.
Oh no, they can't even agree on a package. Apparently, there's a rift between Boris and Sunak. They can't even agree a package for the cost of living themselves. So, let alone NHS stuff. Obviously, credit to the trust for, you know, putting some measures in, but it's just a sad indictment that they have to do that. That, you know, you basically acknowledge that you're not paying your staff enough. You know, to pay them and not set up a food bank. That's basically saying we know this is not enough.
They even saying pay what you can. Do you know what I mean? So it's a situation where if you can give something, then cool. But they're not even saying these are fixed prices, or it might even just be free. Innit? It might be free. So it's quite sad to see. It really is quite sad to see.
What have you got for me, man, this week?
So I've got story on partygate. I know we've touched on it before, but the story has evolved because the police have finalized the investigation. Sue Gray is allowed to actually release a report, but the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, demands an explanation from the Met Police after photos of Boris at lockdown drinks emerge. Okay, so Sadiq has written to the Met Police asking for a detailed explanation of his partygate probe after claiming photos show that PM was caught red-handed, pants down, or red wine pants down, whichever word you want to use, at this event, for which he was not fined. So obviously not making sense, right? So he's written to the acting commissioner, Sir Stephen House, how decisions were made about whether the fine should be issued for lockdown breaches in individual cases. I'm not sure if they're ever going to release information on individual cases to him. We don't know that yet. But Sadiq said it's the smoking gun. And if you've seen the photo, the guy is literally holding red wine. Yeah, other people. Man said he didn't know it was a party, or it was a social event. You know, you make from that what you want. But anyway, I'm going to put you, Michael, in the shoes of, you know, either a spokesperson, either Boris yourself.
No, I'll be a spokesperson.
Yeah, put you in the shoes of spokesperson. How do you explain this, right? Because you've been caught. Well, your boss has been caught pants down, drink in his hand. He said he didn't know he was at a social event. What do you have to say for him?
Well, I don't know what type of parties you go to, but I know the type Boris Johnson goes to. And, you know, if he's going to go to any party, there'll be strippers, there'll be booze on tap, and there'll be complete flagrancy. That's the word I want to use. Yeah. So if I see these photos I've not seen any strippers in there.
So that's interesting to say, because you don't know if any more photos are going to emerge, and you don't know what happened after this. Okay.
Well, I do know my prime minister, and I do know that he he constitutes a party with strippers, and there was no strippers.
But those are his moral standards. Okay.
Yeah. What is a party?
Those are not the standards. When there's 2 or more people with a bottle of wine in their hand, that's what a party is.
So do Muslims go to parties? Do Muslims go to parties?
Is it wine?
Do Muslims go to parties?
Yeah, they do.
You just said it's a bottle of wine.
Yeah, grapes. No one said there's alcohol in it. Grapes. The grapes were slain humanely.
Alcoholic wine is made by grapes. Get out of here, man.
The grapes were slain humanely. Okay, so they can enjoy their own. So look, this is all important. And you know what? Forget even why I constitute a party. Let's think about what Boris put as his policies. How many people could meet? Okay, how many people could meet? Let's numbers. People have been fined for less. People have been fined for less. So
let's find out how many people Keir Starmer had when they linked up. Let's find out that. That's the problem.
We're talking about your chief.
My chief. Yes, exactly. But let's look at the Labour chief, and if we consider the Labour
why
chief,
he's not in charge? He didn't make the rules.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I say he didn't make the rules.
Well, that's the thing. Well, he does want to make the rules, and we've got a stonking majority, and we're going to ensure that we continue with our majority as we look forward. We're looking forward to governing this country, and I think we can't govern if we keep on looking back at our history. And I think we need to move forward. Boris has got a huge mandate by the British people to lead us forward into the next general election, and long may he do that.
Well, I don't think people look forward if you can't trust what the PM's saying, right?
Well, they trusted him in 2019 with a stonking majority.
Yeah, well, they're not trusting him anymore. You man, I got no seats in them local elections.
Well, I'm saying, I just think that we have to look at what the people are saying of this country. And this last time we checked, last time we had the general election, they wanted Boris overwhelmingly. So I think we need to look forward. We've got a huge crisis on our.
But you're the one who's looking. You're the one who's looking back. You're the one who's looking back.
I'm talking about the stonking majority we have, and we've got the cost of. We've got a living crisis here, which I know Boris is working diligently at, and we've got the war in Ukraine. I don't know why we're talking about photos when there's a war in Ukraine.
What are you talking about? Someone who just looked like you. Someone who looks like you just said the guy wasn't doing enough. So what are you talking about?
The war in Ukraine.
No, the cost of living.
The cost of living.
Someone inside that chair just said.
I just said, I'm the Boris Johnson spokesperson. I don't know who this person that looks like me is. Don't know. This is the problem. You probably saw Kwasi Kwarteng and said it was me. That's the problem.
No, it was Bim again.
Bim. This guy does. Abimbola said Bim. I said unbelievable.
bloody Bim again. Get rid of it. No, you can stop. Nah, listen. This guy's
finished, man. He's finished.
He should be finished.
He should be finished. He should be finished. He should be finished.
9 lives. He's got 9 lives. This literally is a smoking gun. You're holding a glass of wine.
But the thing is, the thing I don't understand
about 8 men around you as well.
Yeah, bruv, these things, these weren't covert things that my man will do television and go and say, pop the bottle. It's just mad. He was moving flagrant. And the thing I don't understand, it's not discreet. Bear them were there. He must have seen people with cameras. It's not even it's trying to do one of these speakeasy things where they're trying to hide that. It's proper out in the open. Looking at the photos, everyone's comfortable. Everyone's comfy. So the culture he's instilled in there is reckless.
Yeah, see, I just don't think I just don't think they care in it. Obviously they don't, but I think he does his TV interview, blah blah blah. He's thinking, cool, I've said what I need to say. Now let's get back to work. Let's have a few drinks. Who's gonna really care? But obviously people do, and the thing is, they've done it so many times, that it's this is not on. This is actually not on. And what's worse is he knows what he's done, but he lies to buy himself time, right? So when the evidence comes out, it's a bit too, people are
Yeah, of course, you're just apathetic towards it. When I saw today, I wasn't upset, I wasn't mad. I was like, no man, this man's been doing this shit. Why waste my emotion of being upset? And then that's the problem. He wants that. He wants that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever.
That's how he gets his results in it. So
he's been living his life like this, man. He's been living reckless his whole life. Look at this man's history. Just been living reckless. This ain't nothing new to him.
Yeah,
it's nothing new to him, and it's I've even seen tweets today. What would it be like under Starmer? What would it be like under Labour? And the fact that he's still got that currency that people will still ask those questions means that this guy's doing all right, man. He's not worried.
Well, anyway, let's move on to the last segment of the pod.
What have you got?
So I have got. What have I got? Hold on, I've got like two. Where is it? Okay, I have got one that's kind of linked to the story that we've got going on with Boris, right? So this was in May in 2012. It was the 2012 mayoral election. Conservative candidate Boris Johnson won his second term.
That's it.
So if memory serves me right, he won his second term, right, and then he became MP for Uxbridge or something like that.
Yeah,
but it just shows you how much this guy has been ingrained in our political life. We don't have much time, so I'm just going to wrap up really quickly. But it just shows you how much this guy has been ingrained in our political life,
bro.
And how he just constantly wins and gets by, and it's just, I can't lie, it's a testament to his political appeal. He does prove time again to
fam. He's some rich posh guy who appears like the everyman. All this bluster and stuff. Obviously, when he's on Nevermind, what have I got news for you? EastEnders. So he's been ingratiated into normal public life. Like the fact that we call him Boris by his first name. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So it works. But I'm gonna wrap this up. It's been great, Michael. Take it away.
Oh, we've had a great session. Don't do anything that's going to make us say you should know better. Have a great week. Take it easy and
in a bit. Love and
peace. Love and peace. Easy, people.